Hi guys, it's Emily from Nova Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my Victober TBR 2023. Now, Victober is an event I've been participating with for my whole time on BookTube and an event I celebrate every year. I spend all year buying books for Victober. I've already got a couple of books that I bought this month ready for next Victober. And next year, I'm going to be watching everyone's videos to sort of see what books people read so I can save up some books for next year, because I like to have different ones. I like to have different authors. I like to buy books. It's probably one of the only events where I'll actually buy a book to fit the prompt sometimes. I will scan my shelves. I will make sure that I've got everything ready. Obviously in Victober, I will already give you a sneaky peek. I've got at least one video, let me just double check, for in honour of Victober. So I will be vlogging the whole month, and those videos will be coming out, not the first Wednesday, because I've got to give a weekly, but every Wednesday after this, there'll be a Victober vlog. And I'll be recording from Sunday to Saturday. That'll be the way it will be working, and you'll get the vlog the following Wednesday. I've got a video coming up with the top 5 Victorian authors. I'm going to be telling you my classics that I'll be rereading. What other ones have I got? And I think that's about it. I've got 2 extra Victober videos, but they're still videos that will be related. And obviously I've got my Victober vlog, which I'll be doing. Now, Victober is hosted by the creator of it, which is the lovely Katie from Books and Things, Kate Howe, who's another great booktuber, Marissa from Blatantly Bookish, who's one of my friends from BookTube who I absolutely adore, Roz from Scally Dangling About the Books, again an amazing booktuber and an amazing friend, and Petra from Petra U. Now they've each got a prompt. There is a group book, which is The Way We Live Now by Anthony Trollope. I have already read that, so I didn't plan to reread it. Like you all have seen, I have been having a real classics reading slump this year. So I've taken it easy with my TBR. I've got a book for each prompt. I've got about 2 books which are shorter, 1 book which is a reread, and I've got an extra 2 books that are there for provisional reads. So they're there for if I get time. One of them will get added officially to my TBR probably in the second half of the month, because it's a book I'll be excited about. But I will tell you more about that. Now, I'll go over each of the prompts and tell you what book I've chosen for it, and go into a little bit about the books. I don't know too much, because I know with classics, you tend to get a bit too much information in the description. So let's see what it is. Katie's prompt is, read a piece of Victorian new woman fiction. So that is a book where it was talking about where in the later Victorian eras, authors were starting to write about feminism. Now, my choice for this is one of the books that Katie recommended as not officially a new woman fiction, but it's one of the earliest books that have got sort of the startings of feminism, and that is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. Now, I know a lot of people are reading this, and a lot of people are doing a Boxer group, and there's a group read of it, and they're doing it on. So my sister Charlie from Charlie Brook Reads, she is sort of part of a big read along with this, but I'm buddy reading it with the lovely Chatty from the Mad Chatter. She is an absolutely lovely lady and a true friend already, and I'm gonna be rereading it. I'm counting it as using a new book off my shelf, because this is my first edition I've got. This is a really nice edition that I've got of it. It is hardback, so it is heavy. I will be reading it over the course of the month. Now, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, I have to put it down because it's very, very heavy. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall is one of the 2 books written by Anne Bronte, who is the youngest Bronte sister. It is a reread, because I read it a long time ago when I was doing my Bronte project a long time ago. And I originally only rated it 4 stars, but it's been a book that has been in my head for the longest time. It's the one I've been most wanting to reread. Now, you guys all know that I've reread Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre. I've read a lot of their books loads of times, but this one I have not yet reread. It has 2 sort of points of view, I believe, and it is one of the best. Anne Bronte was she was one of the people that started new women fiction. She was one of the earliest feminists, one of the earliest people that promoted women. And this book is just, it was a present from, I think, Chris. I think my partner, Chris, got me it. And this talks about, there is some, like, triggering areas in this, because we've got a woman in this who is fighting against an alcoholic husband. She is, like, running away from stuff. We've got one narrator who is a male narrator. I can't remember his name. See, this is right. It's been a long time. Set in Wildfire Hall. So we've got one person that is, and some of it's written in letter format. It's got one of the earliest feminists. Why can I not remember the name of it? It's partly set in Wildfire Hall. I should know more of this, but do you know what? For the life of me, I cannot remember it. So we've got Gilbert Markham's one person who talks. We've got... There's a gentleman that does it, and I can't remember his name. And there is just so much. Oh, I just loved this book. I did love this book. And why can I not remember the names of the characters? Katie does talk about it a bit more, and my brain has completely fried. So I'm filming this on a day when I'm in a lot of pain. But this is going to be the one book I'm reading for this prompt. It is amazing. Katie says you can just about count it because it is one of the earliest feminists, but she has got a lot more recommendations. So I will be linking all of the channels for this, and I will link Katie's announcement, and Katie's announcement will then link all of the other announcements videos. But I will link everyone's channels, and then if you want to, for each of the hosts, they will tell you, in their announcement videos, they will give you some recommendations for each of the prompts. But yeah, this is my choice for that one. Now, Kate Howe's prompt is read a Victorian work with a stranger or an outsider. So, I've been told that The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde counts for that. I will definitely be reading The Canterville Ghost, and this is the one I bought when I went to book shopping in London. I actually bought it from Scoop Books, which is on Marchmont Street, so I've got the bookmark for this. I will definitely be reading The Canterville Ghost, which I think is one of the... It's in here, but there is a lot more yeah, and that's the last bloody one. So I'll definitely be reading The Canterville Ghost, but I think what I'm probably going to do is, because this book is like a shorty book, I'm probably going to read all of the other plays that are in this selection, because I think I'll definitely be reading The Canterville Ghost, but that is so short that I'll probably read at least one or two of the other plays. That's my goal for this. So I don't know if I want to read all of the plays in this, because even though it's a short book, the whole point of me picking this one was that it is like so short. So The Canterville Ghost, how many pages is that? It's literally only like 20 or 30 pages. So I'm probably going to read a couple of the shorter plays in this book. So that'll be this is the one I'm reading for this. I don't know much about The Canterville Ghost. It's the fact that, oh yeah, this is it. When Mr. and Mrs. Otis in Virginia, Washington, with their young twins moving to Canterville Chase, they're warned of the spectre of Sir Simon that haunts the old house. Ooh, it's ghostly, it's spooky, it's all. And this has also got my copy's also got Sir Arthur Saville's Crime and the House of Pomegranate. So this has got some quite good plays in this. I don't know which one I'm going to read, but I'm going to read some of the plays in this. But I might read this gradually over the course of the month because it's got quite a few plays. So I think that's the way I'm actually going to read this one. I'm going to read like a play a week or something like that. Play or two a week. So yeah, this one, that's my choice for that one. Kate's got quite a few good recommendations for that. Now, the next prompt is Marissa's. I love Marissa. Marissa's is read a Victorian work by a new to you author. Now, obviously I had my polls up on my channel, and one of the polls had a choice of 2 books. What I didn't realise was one of the options wasn't actually a Victober book. So I would have had to choose something else. I don't know what I would have chosen. But everyone voted for Deerbrook by Harriet Martineau. I got given this a long time ago, and this is going to kill me because it's not going to kill me. I thought it was like massive, but it's actually only like 523 pages, which I say is big, but it's not actually that big. My goal for reading this is I'm going to read this over, I think I've got 2 big books. I've got this and my last option. So I'm going to try and read these over the course of like a week or a week and a half each, because these are the longer ones. I'm going to read them solidly. I'm going to break them down to every day I'll read a chunk of it. I'll break that down so every day I'm reading a bigger chunk, because I think going forward what I learnt from my Dickens project was I can't just read one big bit a day, because I just don't absorb it. So I need to be reading chunks every single day and do it that way. Now, Harriet Martineau, she wrote quite a few books. Now, I know that Katie from Books and Things has recommended her many a time. And this is The Grey Family Live in the neat white house in the tranquil English village of Deerbrook, of which one summer they comes the distant cousins from Birmingham, Hester and Margaret Ibbotson. Recently orphaned, their arrival causes a sensation in the small world of Deerbrook. What more exciting than the inhabitants of a village that has the presence of strangers? But the 21-year-old Hester has the gift of great beauty and the terrible fault of their jealousy, whereas Margaret, a year her junior, is inferior in looks, though vastly superior in the sweetness and intelligence of character. This is a book about sisters. It's the first, it was her only novel. Oh, Harriet Martineau only ever wrote Deerbrook. I didn't know that. So this looks really good. I'm really looking forward to this. Now, Petra's challenge was read a Victorian first-person narrative. Now, I know that a lot of Wilkie Collins books have got this. I checked with the lovely Charlie from Charles Heathcote as to which one of his I've not read counts. And I believe this one counts. This is The Law and the Lady by Wilkie Collins. And it's one of the shorter books. It's a book I bought last year. I love this edition. My edition is not very long. It is literally, this is like 382 pages. I thought this was shorter than Deerbrook, but it's actually like not much shorter. So again, this is going to have to be read over a week. So I really have got to work out, I'm going to have to work out a reading schedule about how I'm going to do this. To chunk it all out and everything. I might have to get loads of blooming pages. But yeah, this is another book by Wilkie Collins. There's a book that I've seen, Basil by Wilkie Collins, in my charity shop, and if no one gets it, I'm going to get it because I love Wilkie Collins' work. And this is despite the grave misgivings of both their families. Valeria Brinton and Eustace Woodville are married, but before long the new bride begins to suspect a dark secret. Yay, I love dark gothic! Of her husband's past, and when she discovers that he's been living under a false name, she is determined to find out why he's concealing his true identity from her. Soon she must endure an even greater shock. The revelation that her husband has been on trial for poisoning his first wife. Oh my God! Convinced of his innocence, Valeria is prepared to do anything to clear her husband's name, and in doing so upturns the conventions of polite 19th century society. Oh my God. I did not realise how friggin' good this looks, but this is like my version of friggin' heaven for Victober. It's gothic, it's mystery, it's got every bloody thing I love in Victober. Oh my God. Yeah, I shouldn't get this excited, should I? It's Wilkie Collins, but it looks so bloody good. I really don't know if I'm excited about this. I'm freaking desperate to read Tenant of Barber Hall. Harriet Martineau, the Deerbrook's intriguing me. The Canterville Ghost is intriguing me. This looks flipping brilliant. I don't know which order I'm going to read this in. God, you guys are going to have to help me work out which one I'm going to do. Then, the last challenge is Roz's challenge, which is read a Victorian work where class features strongly. So, I messaged Roz. Roz is a lovely lady, another true friend I've met a couple of times. And it also, this is the second poll's result. I did not realise the size of this. I'm going to have to be so freaking careful reading this with my wrist. This is Lorna Doone by R.D. Blakemore. Can you see the size of this flipping book? Right, so I got given this by a work colleague as a Christmas present. This has got, my copy has got pictures. It's got, actually this, the typing's not that small. Shall we find out the number of pages? Again, I thought it was bigger than this, but maybe it's because of my big pages. But someone said it was like massive. This is 575 pages. So this is, again, it's big, but it's not like too big. Look at this edition. I got given this. Look at that. Look at the pictures in this. Lorna stood beside me. This is a gorgeous copy. I've got like, no, this came in my copy. The Reader's Digest copy. I don't know how my friend got me this, but this girl, the girl I used to work with her, and I think the pages, that sort of flops like that, so I might be able to hold it right. I really do not know much about Lorna Doone. So this is apparently a romance, okay? This is a work it's called a romance because of the incidents, characters, time, and the scenery alike in romantic. Also in the shaping of this tale, the writer neither dares nor desires to claim its dignity or cumber in the difficulty of a historical novel. It's about apparently it's set in Exmoor. So I think Jack from Spread Footjoy might be reading this. If she does, hopefully we'll bloody read it because that'll be amazing. This is Herculean power. This is about the dunes. I really do not know much about this book. I'm very, very sorry, but all I know is it does look like it's got quite short chapters, which should make it again easy to fly through. Although my type setting, if you can see, it's not that small, but it does look very good. I don't know how much about this. Oh, the afterword. Do you have to read an afterword? No, I don't think you have to. So that's 870 pages. 570 pages. Not too bad. This copy looks friggin', it's heavy, but it looks good. So that is my pick for this. Now, the extra 2 books that I've got are put by for, one of them is a definite extra book because, again, I bought it when we went to London. And that is Elizabeth Gaskell's The Old Nurse's Story. This is literally like 50 pages. So I will be reading this. I've been told lots of good things about it. On my copy's got The Old Nurse's Story and it's got another book in it. What other one has it got in it? It's got Curious If True. Oh, so it's got two little gothic-y stories. That looks really pretty. A lovely penguin back classics. Then lastly, this book is not officially on my TBR. This next book is if I'm doing okay with Victober. If I do not feel like I'm overloaded for Victober, it will be read this year. If not, it will be read next year. And that is the Dr. Wortle's School by Anthony Trollope. Anthony Trollope, again, author I love. And I've bought this book because it's nice and short and sweet. It's less than 300 pages. I do not know very much about it. So if I get time, if I fancy it, it's here to read. If I don't, I'm not going to kill myself. It's not officially going on my TBR. It'll be a case of, it'll be there if I need it. And this is apparently Trollope's most subversive novel. Dr. Wortle's School is wide-ranging condemnation of group morals, collective prejudice, and the devastating powers of conventional values which may have upon well-intentioned individuals who question or defy it. Dr. Wortle engages Mr. and Mrs. Peacock as assistant master and matron respectively at his private school. The discovery of the irregularity of their marriage and ensuing scandal tests the character that is involved. Don't know, does look good. If I get a chance, I'll read it. Like I said, I'm not putting pressure on myself. Now, this is a bit I would like you guys to help me with. What do you think I should start with? Obviously, Tent of Arthur Hall will be read over the whole month because it's book I'm reading with the lovely, like I said, I'm reading with the lovely Chatty from Mad Chatter. I'm planning to probably read the 2 biggest books, one after the other. But do I try and read my 2 shorter books? Or do I have like a shorter one in the middle of it? Let me know. Which one do you think I should start with? Do I start with a longer one? Do I start with a shorter one? What do I do? I think I'm going to have to start with the longer one. So it's whether I start with Lorna Doone or Deerbrook. So that's what I'd love to know. What do you think? If you people comment a bit, then I might be able to make a choice. If not, I'll just go with my gut. But I've got a lot of great books here. And I am so excited by Victober. Which books are you excited about in Victober? Are you joining in? Please let me know down below. Have you got any recommendations for me for books that I should look for in the charity shops? I would love, love, love to know. I know that Daniel Defoe, I've got a lot of Daniel Defoe's books in my charity shop. I don't think he's Victoria, but let me know. I'd love to know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed yet, ring my ding-a-ling. And if you've got to the end of this video, leave me a book emoji, any book emoji.